Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RN Survival Guide. My name is Corey. We got some really awesome topics for you today, especially for you new grads out there. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to talk about is kind of the different specialties that are out there for new grads. You can go into ICU off the bat, you can go to med surg, or you can go to intermediate. Now there's some specialties like cardiacs, intensive, more medical, or orthopedic, but we'll just stick with the ICU, med surg, and the intermediate for just right now. So coming out right off the bat into the ICU, some people will say that new nurses shouldn't do that. New grads should kind of get their feet wet first. I kind of disagree with that statement. I think that if you apply yourself, if you ask the right questions, if you put your mindset in the mode of learning as much as possible, I think it's doable, especially if you have aspirations of CRNA school or like acute care MP. I think it's vital you get that critical care experience first off the bat. Why waste time, you know? So I've seen new grads do it. I've seen them be successful, but the ones that really do well, they ask a lot of questions, they take their time, and they really try to understand the heavy medical kind of science part of what they're doing in the ICU, which can be very intense. The learning curve is steep, but I definitely think it's doable. If that's what you want to do, I say go for it, definitely. My med surg nurses out there, I started off in med surg. I worked in med surg trauma unit for about 2 years, became a charge nurse at about 6 to 9 months. I loved that floor. That was like my home. I feel like I gained such a very strong understanding of task management, thinking quickly and thinking on my feet. That translated really well to the ICU. I gained that fast experience because med surg, man, you have 5, 6, 7 patients that all need you at once. You really have to be good with priority tasking. And then that just kind of really benefited me well in the ICU. So then you have your intermediate floors. What I love about intermediate is that you have your sick patients, but you also have that kind of med surgy flow as well. So you have sick patients, but you also got patients on the call light that are hitting you up constantly. So you gotta manage that. You gotta balance that. It's a big balancing act on intermediate floors. So if you don't want to quite do med surg, but aren't quite ready for the ICU, I recommend like a cardiac step down unit where you're taking kind of not fresh open hearts, but pretty close to fresh open hearts. You'll get a great sense of your arrhythmias, a great sense of time management, and you'll also have patients that can kind of go down the tubes quickly. So you'll really get good experience on those intermediate floors. So second topic that I wanted to get into today is red flags when it comes to your orientation. So that being said, I've seen orientation go really well for nurses, but I've also seen it go kind of bad as well. What do I mean by that? So if you and your preceptor are not gelling, if you're just butting heads, if you're just not getting along well, you're not learning from them, remember, this is your orientation. It's not her orientation or his orientation. It is your orientation. It is so important that you get the quality education, the quality learning that you need, because you're going to be on your own depending on how long your orientation is. That's it. That's all you get. That's all the time that's allotted to you. Use it wisely. So that being said, if you're not getting along, go to your management. Go to your clinical educator. If they're supporting you, if they're a good unit, they're definitely gonna switch up the preceptors. I've seen it before, especially in the ICUs. If you're not getting along well, man, because you have like 3 months just with one person, so you definitely have to get along, or it's just gonna be a rough time. Another thing that I've seen is contracts that kind of lock you into 3 years of time span for a new nurse. That's crazy. So what I mean by that is like when you go to get hired during hiring events, they're like, hey, my cat just fell. Charlie, what are you doing, man? They get into everything, dude, I swear. Anyway, so during hiring events, if you see like kind of crazy pitches where you have to stay for like 2-3 years after you sign, don't sign that, because you don't want to be tied down to a specific floor. You might want to progress. You might be getting the hang of it quickly. You might say, hey, I'm ready for a new challenge. I want to be in the ICU. So always keep your doors open. Always keep an open mind. So that being said, we'll go into the next topic here. Hold on one second. My cat just decided to destroy everything. Talking about mindset, your first few days on the unit, I think coming in with a approach of humility is really important. Something that they don't really tell you during orientation, you're constantly being evaluated. How you interact with patients, staff members, how you treat the techs. Really important that you just come in, know that you're gonna be the low man on the totem pole. It's not gonna be forever, but the last thing you wanna do is come off cocky, like you know more than the other nurses. That is the last thing you wanna do. I've seen that. I've seen how bad that can kind of affect your reputation. So it is super important that you come in, not necessarily like tail between your legs, but definitely just come in with a mindset of humility, which kind of leads into the next point. The second topic is being a team player. Being a team player, super important. Help out everybody. Bed baths, vital signs, simple tasks like getting waters for different patients, answering call lights that aren't your own. Those things will put you so far ahead of your peers. Highly recommend doing that. Just be a team player. If an admission comes in, nobody's helping that nurse, be the one to say, hey, let me go help. I can put things down, I can chart later. Let me go into that room and help with the admission. It means so much and it's definitely noticeable. So those two things go hand in hand. Being humble, constantly being under evaluation, and helping others, huge. So third tip, ask questions. Ask as many questions as you possibly can. If you don't know something, ask. Nobody's gonna be mad at you. No one's gonna be upset. Please, though they're probably happy that you're asking. So please ask a bunch of questions. It shows that you're engaged, you're enthused, you have that coachability, that eagerness to learn. Again, that's gonna go so far with management, with your clinical leads, your charge nurses. If you're asking questions, good questions, I'm telling you, that's huge. And again, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't know something, just ask. Pull one of the nurses aside, say, hey, how do I spike this? Or how do I fix this antibiotic? It takes 2 seconds, and most nurses, if not all, will be happy to help you. So ask a bunch of questions, okay? So to wrap things up, use these tips on your first few days of orientation. I think they'll be really helpful for you. Remember, just keep that mindset, be humble, help everybody, be a team player. Those will just carry you so far. So again, thanks again guys for liking these videos and subscribing. We had like 120 views on the last video, just the introduction video, so that was amazing to see. So I really think these videos are gonna be helpful for you. I wish I had something like this, especially when I first started. So keep following, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep subscribing. We'll be having a fun time. So again, about 1 video per week. We'll keep these tips going, guys. So hey, good luck with your next shift. Have an awesome day. See you guys.